This is the Dan Benjamin Hour for Friday, April 10th, 2015. It's the big day that you can go and pre-order your Apple Watch, if that's your kind of thing. If that's the kind of thing that you like to do, you can do that today. Today, in fact, your chance to do that has probably come and gone if you weren't around to do it. Now, the way that this worked, and I'm sure that you, if this is the kind of thing that interests you, I'm sure that you were already aware of everything that I'm about to tell you, but I'll say it anyway because some people don't understand, they don't follow, they don't care about this kind of thing the way that we do, right, Hattie?
Right.
Welcome to the show, Hattie. I know
Hello.
It's a big commitment for you to.
I know, but I'm here. So.
Almost all. See how it's squished?
Every time.
Every time. Anytime you start up Wirecast, you're going to have to go into your remote desktop presenter thing.
Scale
to fit, and then unsquish. There we go. Benjamin Mayo reporting for 9 to 5 Mac. Almost all Apple Watch models sold out. Apple Care pricing is revealed. And now, in fact, everything is all sold out. Now, when they say sold out, what they actually, and see, we lowered this this camera a little bit right here. So we get the, I think, a better shot. All right. So this is a better shot now, I think. It's a little lower, but I don't know. Now maybe I feel it should be higher.
I might tilt it back up, not raise it,
I
but
said to do
tilt
that, and you said no.
Well.
We got a new 2-up shot. See, I'm too big in the shot. I'm going to make myself smaller in that. Don't you
smaller
think?
Than me?
Yeah, because I think, well, this is about how big we are in real life. Okay. Anyway. Hattie, what was your experience buying the Apple Watch last night? What was it like for you?
I did not buy the Apple Watch, but I know that you did.
Mm.
But you did not wake up
what was your
at the crack
though?
of... My experience was being asleep, sleeping all the way through the night, and dreaming about wheat in Minecraft.
Ah, yes. We should talk about Minecraft. Well, in yesterday's episode of this show called Person to Person, I said, how should Dan buy the Apple Watch? And I put up a little poll. And the people listened. And there were 202 total votes came in, most of which came in during the show or shortly after. 39%, 79 of the votes said I should stay up until 2 a.m. and buy the watch. In at second place was wake up at 2 a.m. 66 votes, 33% said wake up at 2 a.m. And then trailing at 28% and 57 votes, wake up at your normal time and take the risk. So, Hattie, what do you think that I did? I know you know, but if you had to guess.
If I had to guess, that you would just wake up at your regular time.
Regular time. Well, I went to bed knowing that the Apple Watch was going to come out and thinking about sleep and knowing myself and knowing that it would be likely that I would mess myself up if I stayed up, mess myself up if I woke up. I said, you know what? If I wake up in the night of my own volition, so be it. I'll buy the watch then if I wake up. If I sleep through and buy in the morning, that's fine. Because although I want one of these things and I want it earlier rather than later, that is to say, I knew that I wouldn't be upset if I didn't have it on day one. Yes, having it on day one would be pretty cool, but I don't know if it's that critical for me. There's going to be so many unboxings of this online. I don't want to do one of those anyway. You know what I'm saying, honey? I don't care. No one's going to be tuning into me to see my unboxing. You know. Plus, we already have some fun plans for some things that we're going to be doing on the 24th.
Very excited.
Be terrorizing the domain here in Austin, Texas. And, other things that we thought would be fun that I thought, okay, if I can get it on that day, great. I would love to have it on that day. But if I don't have it on the day, like, all right, you know what? Lots of things I don't get on the first day. I'm a patient person.
You are.
When it comes to that kind of thing. Not patient driving, but I'm patient when it comes to that kind of thing. See, now you can see Hattie looking down, doing her email.
Checking the chat room.
Checking Facebook.
Yeah, always on Facebook.
We should give you something to do on Facebook. You could run the 5x5 page for us on Facebook.
Wow.
Facebook. Well, for no specific reason, at 4 a.m., my eyes opened up, and it wasn't like I wasn't like in shock or anything. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I gotta, I've got to go order this thing. I just sort of, if you ever wake up in the night, you just kind of, you're awake for a second, you turn over and go back to sleep. It was that kind of thing. But I realized, that watch is available right now. And I really took a hard look at the clock. I said, oh, it's 4. And I had that little debate in my mind, with the little devil on one shoulder, little angel on the other shoulder. And I said, well, what should I do? If I look at my phone, I will attain consciousness. And then it's a question as to whether or not I'll be able to fall back asleep. Because the light from the phone, the blue light, all that. I said, okay, well, I'm not sure. And then the little devil came up and he said, oh, you know what? Just order the phone. If you change your mind, you can cancel it. And then I started to say, okay, Hattie has turned her computer. Hold up your computer so they can see this. She's typed a cool note in TextMate, made the font very big, and said weird echo and noise in the 2-up shot. Do you remember, Hattie, the last time that you and I did that I changed a shot?
Yes.
Do you remember the secret? The
secret is turning the audio down on that camera.
On the camera. And what I did was I added two new camera shots to that one.
I thought that's exactly what was wrong.
The audio was there. So there, no more echo.
There you go.
So that's the secret. So now, Hattie, if you were producing a show,
we need a video jingle producer for. We just fixed that, or we need to fix something.
I have one. Are you ready for it?
Story of the week. It's the story.
Okay. So back and forth. What should I do? But by this time, I realized I was already awake.
Because you had been thinking about it.
My mind was already thinking about it, making important decisions in the middle of the night.
Which one should I get?
And yeah, then I was, well, which one should I get? Excuse me. So I said, okay, it's time for me to get serious about this. And I picked up my phone. And Jen Simmons, the famous Jen Simmons.
Who was on the
show earlier this week. Jen Simmons said, and I think I still have her little, there she is right there. Hi, Jen.
Jen.
Thanks for coming by. I said, Jen, what should I do? And Jen said, you should order it using the App Store app. That's what you should do. That's what grown-ups do.
Jen was up at 4?
No, I don't know when she was up. But she said use the iOS Apple Store app. It's much faster than trying to go through the website.
Right, because everyone's going to want to... What are you looking at?
Nothing.
Oh. You just seem to, daze out.
No.
I know what that is. I noticed that earlier.
What is that thing?
That is the Dropbox logo that is still frozen up.
They're not going to be able to see that, so they won't know what we're talking about. All right, so she said use the app. So I launched the app, and I started looking around in this app, and I said, all right, which of these is even going to be still available? Because it's now been 2 hours. 4 a.m. here in Central Time is 2 full hours after the watch has been available. And, I said, okay, well, let's start with the sport. Right away, all the sports said June, shipping in June.
And you're like, nope.
I'm like, well, that helps make my decision because most of just the regular Apple Watch, the standard watch, those were shipping in about 4 weeks. It was saying 4 weeks, and then it changed to 4 to 6 weeks later. And I said, you know what? I'll do that. I don't care. That's fine for me. Because, and here's my thinking, you can cancel your order until it ships. So I will get some time to spend. I'll have the watch that I would want to get on order, delivering to me. I'll be able to get it and enjoy it. But if before then I get to experience the watch, I get to see it, I get to read more reviews, I get to get hands-on time with it at a store or something.
Right.
And I say, well, this isn't for me. I don't really want this.
You still cancel it.
I just cancel it. So in a way, this is called what they call the silver lining.
I think so too, and especially since you did initially want the sport with the sport band and whatever and the aluminum, then if you go in and you're like this, then you get to compare the two. You can be like, no, I really still want the. You can just cancel and then walk in and get the one that you wanted later.
Yeah, like much later.
Right.
So what I wound up ordering, because I know you're all just dying to know, I got the 42 millimeter, which was a given. And I went ahead and I was thinking about this. I was thinking about what band to get. And I had already kind of decided that I was going to get the classic leather band because I like a traditional leather band. I'm not a big fan of the metal bands with the links in them, and that's just not for me. Hattie, which band would you have gotten if you were going to pick one?
I mean,
I know you
if
like
I was,
the Rose Gold Edition one, but
right,
on
right.
planet Earth, which one would you get?
Exactly. On the moon, I would have gotten the gold one with the red bracelet,
Right.
or the rose gold with like that black bracelet or the pink bracelet. I'm calling it a bracelet, whatever. But in real life, I'm not too hard on my jewelry, I guess. So I would be fine with just the aluminum. Yeah, the one on the right is really pretty.
Yeah.
It's just so pretty.
Well, that's the addition.
I know. One can dream. No, but I would get probably the aluminum, and I would get...
You don't know.
Can you only get the sport band with the aluminum?
No, you can do other
Then I
things.
might
but
do
I
one
think-
of the silver.
No, wait a minute. No, that's right. Yeah, you can only get that one.
Okay. Then maybe let's go with the pink or black band.
Pink or black band. So you
Yeah.
would have got the entry level one. So what
Yeah.
I did is I was debating, and for those who are viewing, and by the way, you can and should watch this this show. You can watch it on YouTube if you want. We upload it there, and we also have an RSS feed, so you can subscribe and you can watch it on your Apple TV, or you can watch it on your beautiful iOS or Android device, or right there on the computer. All of that's there for you, and you can tune in live every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, 8 Pacific, and listen or watch live. So I knew right away that I didn't want the sport band. I did not like the sport band. I was considering this, what they call the classic buckle, which is just a watch band. If you imagined
Right.
the canonical watch band, this was the canonical watch band, and that was the one that I was going to get. And then at the last minute, I started looking at this Milanese loop. I don't like the Milanese loop that much because, as I've mentioned, I don't love the metal bands. However, if you look at the way that it goes better with the watch, in my opinion, than the sort of
I think-
black band.
I think it looks more like a watch. If you turned the face off
Mm-hmm.
and just held it
Mm-hmm.
and like quick flashed it, you'd be like, look, a watch.
I
And
agree
then
with you.
It's the most watch-esque
I agree with
watch.
you. That was not the reason that I got it, though. The reason that I got it was I've never seen a band quite like that before. I've never seen a band that connects this way, that has this kind of weird little clasp thing on it. It's very odd to me. And I thought that it might be fun to get this thing that to me is very unique and very different and just doesn't, there's nothing else. Look at this pretty animation. See that? There's nothing else like that.
I do like the way it closes too. It's kind of cool.
It's crazy. Well, I'll do it again. Look at that. It's like a little dog's tongue coming out. Title.
It's
Title.
a dog's tongue.
So I said, you know what? Because to me, like, this is the classic thing. It's something only Apple really is doing. And yes, I'm going to get email from people like, actually, this kind of loop and watch has been around for years and whatever. To me, this is the most unique of all of those watches. If you go back and you look at every single one of them, the sport band, I do not like the sport band at all. The classic buckle's okay, but it was the same price as the Milanese loop.
What's the one on the right? It's second.
That thing?
The other one. Other
This.
way. Yeah. What?
That's
what's with
called the modern buckle.
I don't like that. It has a weird button on the side, and that's how you unlock the buckle. And that one's very bizarre to me. I would need to see it in person to understand it. You see where it's
No.
like, oh,
See?
you click it, and then it kind of
See?
slides apart. I mean, it's
Can you
nice.
describe what we're...
We're
we're
watching
looking at?
a
The theater
a
of the
moving
mind.
photo of the button being pressed on the left side and the watch band
I don't like
opening
that.
up. I don't like that
at
either.
all.
It does look like
Forget
it
that.
lays very, very flat on your wrist, which is a problem that I have with my other watches. Is it digs in
Yeah.
when it's just the buckle to my
Anyway,
wrist.
so that was my order. That's what I put in, and then it said 4 to 6 weeks. So in unless I cancel it in 4 to 6 weeks, that's what I'm gonna get. So we'll see.
In the chat room, Opticrom, I believe, is
It's
how you say
pronounced Omnicron.
He said she said, I tried both the Milanese and the classic leather this morning. I ordered the Milanese. Looks great, feels great, tight fit, and doesn't tug on arm hair. So
that's a plus
it is
for dudes.
Dudes, right? That's a thing. Like
don't
I
shave
wouldn't have
their
to worry
arms.
about that. But
Well, that's because you shave your arms.
right, just shave it all off.
Mhm.
That's gross.
Well, they do that in Japan.
I know. I don't need to. I have clear hair.
Anyway, that's good. I'm glad that he tried it.
He
Where did he try it? At the Apple Store?
did not say.
Because I think today, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat room, but I think today you can go to the Apple Store and you can begin your try-on stuff. I think
Apple
that's
Store,
today.
Yorkdale, Toronto.
Okay,
Toronto.
so Toronto. So today you can go to the Apple Store and try these things out if you want and check them out. And if you want to cancel your order and bump mine up to the front. But I'm not upset about it. If I had really, really wanted it, I would have stayed up until 2. And I didn't. But you know who's staying up till 2 every night? Did you know this is a fact, Hattie?
Tell me.
Every single night, the kids over at Wealthfront are staying awake.
They are.
And we saw a neat thing. We're not supposed to talk about this because they asked us not to. But we got an inside behind the scenes look. They talk in Wealthfront. If you've heard the show before, you've heard me talk about Wealthfront. It's the automated investment service that makes it easy to invest your money the right way. They say automated. What they actually have are small trained animals that are keeping this business going. They describe it as software, but it's actually just small.
But that's why they put software in quotes.
Right. It's software.
Right.
That manages your money. What they've done is they've built a Turing engine, and it's powered by this mostly mammals.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what is helping you invest your money. And it is running their software, but it's a unique operation the way that it's set up.
Yep. The animals just power the building that they're in.
It's like an animal-powered Borg cube.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be investing your money is their software. Because what they actually do in real life is they make it easy for you to invest your money. They get a profile on you. They plug it into their computers. And their software figures out really great way to invest your money. Now, there are real humans who are involved in this. But at the end of the day, they have a fantastic combination, a beautiful marriage of human and computer technology working together to invest your money smart, tax efficient, maximizing your after-tax returns. And all this stuff is super important because you want to just set it and forget it. You don't want to have to babysit your long-term investments. You want to know that they're getting reinvested properly. You sign up online in only 5 minutes, no boring phone calls, and it's all commission-free. Every trade is commission-free. And they charge 0.25% per year, which is less than a quarter the cost of traditional investment advisors. Great stuff. 5x5 listeners get their first 10,000 managed for free when they visit wealthfront.com/5x5. I don't know how they afford to pay the animals.
They get paid in like carrots and apples and stuff. Yeah.
Also available today is the new Retina MacBook. You can order it online. It looks beautiful, and it's out. However, you can order it, Hattie, but should you order it? Reviews are out.
Dun, dun, dun.
And as Mac Rumors here is cautioning, they say, you know what, read these reviews before you go and buy a new one. Many reviewers have compared it to the first generation MacBook Air, praising its cutting-edge design while highlighting some of the performance compromises compared to the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. For example, the machine's Core M processor lags behind the more powerful Intel-based processors available in Apple's other notebooks. It runs all modern apps. It is, however, noticeably slower, which may be a concern for users. Now, slower than what? Slower than all of the other laptops? Slower than the MacBook Air? I don't think it's going to be slower than the MacBook Air, but certainly slower than the Pro. But isn't that to be expected? Anyway, a lot of reviews are in, though. And, of course, when it comes to reviews, for me, I want Joanna Stern. She's the one for me.
Just in life.
Oh, I meant her reviews, but
She will be on the show on Monday.
that's what I keep hearing. That's what people keep saying to me. I'm excited about that. We'll see if my dreams come true. But she has a review of the MacBook that I had open. Now I have to
Refined it.
refind it. There she is. Here's what she says. And this will be in the show notes. Show notes will be at 5by5.tv/dbh/26. Here's her review. Apple MacBook review. The laptop of the future isn't ready for the present. And she asks you this, this very exciting question. Are you willing to give up battery life and convenience to own the most beautiful laptop ever? And there's this great picture of her holding a holographic image of the MacBook.
I like it.
It's a trippy image. And I want to see if we can get this printed out, put up on the wall. Can you get on that?
I will work on that.
And here's what she says. She says, you won't find it in Apple's advertisements, but the new MacBook is a time machine. It's much simpler than Doc Brown's DeLorean. All you have to do is look at it to observe the future of the laptop, that is. And she goes on to talk about how it's ahead of its time, but she says, it's ahead of its time, but you have to use it right now. Here in 2015, the majority of us still required 2 or 3 ports for connecting our hard drives, displays, phones, and other devices to our computer, not to mention a dedicated power plug. Also, I speak for the people of the future when I say I'm not willing to sacrifice battery life and performance, even if it is for a stunning design. Certainly not for $1,300. So she talks about how beautiful it is. She makes some great 80s references. And she talks about how thin and light. And I thought that this thing was supposed to have like 9 hours of battery life. But maybe it doesn't. And here's what she says. She talks about how great the USB-C port is. But she says, and she did some really good tests here. She says in the streaming video tests, with all the laptops set to comparable brightness, around 75%, the MacBook conked out after 7 hours, while my 13-inch Air braved on for over 11 hours. Even the 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina got 9 hours. She says our grueling web browsing test brought similar results. The MacBook lasted only 6.5 hours. 13-inch Air made it 5 hours longer. 5 hours longer. 5 hours longer. That is a lot of time, people. I just want to reiterate, that is a long time.
9 times.
So there's a nice little grid here that she's put together. Battle the best laptops. And she compares it to the new Apple MacBook, to the MacBook Air 13, to a Dell XPS 13, which comes in at $800. Okay, but this thing gets 11 hours and 54 minutes of battery life, compared to the new MacBook 6 hours and 23 minutes, and the Air right in the middle, 11 hours 31 minutes. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you should do, but I would to me, this is not it. I'm going to say thumbs down, don't buy this thing. That's Dan Benjamin's
Review of the day.
Review of the day without ever having used one. She says it's also not as fast as the Air. And just doing the basic stuff. So, sorry.
The toilet running at the end is the best part.
You like that?
Mm-hmm. It's nice. It's comforting, you know? It's like a little sound machine.
I know you're excited because instead of an Apple Watch, you decided to get the new Jawbone UP3. That's going to be shipping on April 20th.
Uh-huh. That's
Look at this thing.
What
could
is
you,
it?
Could you please describe what you are looking at?
well, it looks like a Fitbit. And on the top where I guess the little screen would be, or whatever is on a Fitbit, you can tell I've never bought one.
Yeah, there's no screen on a Fitbit.
Whatever the little where the dots are, the
This
lights.
looks like a torture device.
It does, and the top it looks like a metal version of I forget what it's called, but like a cushion, like a chair cushion, or I don't remember
Yeah,
the name
it's
of
a
it.
strange looking
very
thing. It's
strange.
got these weird little sensors
Puff.
and clips and puffiness to it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be $179 pre-order. It has water resistance comparable to and in line with most other multi-sensor trackers. It's resistant to everyday splashing. including while washing hands or in the shower, but it's unsuitable for swimming or submerged use. And apparently they thought that customers out in the world thought it would be suitable for swimming. So you can cancel your pre-order. The company had hoped to offer water resistance up to 10 meters, but they can't. So don't swim with this. You can't swim with anything anymore.
No.
Like this, my famous Timex Weekender watch right here.
Can't.
Why don't
swim
we
with
have
that?
an over the camera,
Over the
shot?
shoulder?
Over the shoulder shot? Yeah. Why don't we have that?
Well, it's kind of over the shoulder. You could show it.
But it's so small. Like it's zoomed out. We have to have. I want like a camera that comes down,
We could just
like
put it
right from there.
like on that and just kind of
Put
sit
it right here
next to the
and
rack.
have it
yeah.
sitting here, and I could hold it up next to
Yeah.
the rack. Next to the rack. So this Timex Weekender says WR30M. Do you know what WR30M stands for? Without Googling it.
WR30M, water resistant up to 30 meters.
Correct. Do you think that would mean it's suitable for swimming? Yes or
Yes.
no? So your answer is that is suitable for swimming.
Well,
Is that your
30
final? Is
meters-
that your final answer?
if it's 30,
is that your final?
yes, 30 meters of water.
You're correct. You were very upset there.
If it said water, what's the other one? There's water resistant,
That's it.
and then there's water like tolerable or something like that, isn't it? Isn't there?
Yeah, water tolerable.
Where you can like splash on it.
Water tolerable.
Why are you writing that down?
It's going to be the title.
No,
Water tolerable.
it'll tolerate water.
Mhm, it'll tolerate water.
Just being around it. Like if you go near a lake, it'll be like,
Yeah.
that's fine.
So I recommend the Weekender. It's a wonderful watch you can get for usually under $30. Also, another review of this MacBook Pro came in. Andrew Cunningham at Ars Technica. He says same thing. 2015 MacBook previews a future that's not quite here. Laptop is defined by the features it doesn't have. And you know what? People predicted that this is exactly what they were going to say. And Apple knew that this is what people were going to say. But guess what? People are saying it. And it's true. And you know what? Maybe we are just not ready for a computer like this with a low battery life, a slow CPU, and only one port. Nothing is selling me on this. At first, when I first saw it, I thought, wow, this thing seems pretty cool. I can't wait to get this thing. And then the more I learned about it, the more hesitant I was. So I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I got a little bit more news, but before I get to that, let me tell you about Tripcase. Tripcase, so cool. It makes me want to travel. How did you ever get the travel bug?
Oh, yeah.
What is the travel bug?
The travel bug is when you can't help but think about the next place that you're going to travel to. Or just you love traveling just in general. Just being in an airport, having that plane ticket in your hand, wanting to go somewhere awesome and see someplace really cool and new and
Or like
experience
you
it.
see an airplane go over and you're,
And
like,
you're like,
I wish I was on that
I wonder
plane."
where they're going. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a travel bug.
Tripcase is a solution to all this. You know, I have an idea for them. Can you get in touch with them?
I can, yes.
Okay, because I have an idea. I want you to get on this. Could you, since you're busy typing anyway, could you type up an email for me? Here's a feature for their app.
Got it.
Because what they do... Wow. This is exciting. I wish you could see this. A child just ran in. A child just ran into our office while we're doing a live show. Could you see them walk by? Basically, we are right next door to a pediatric dentist's office. I hope that the sound of them picked up. And we're doing something fun today. We left our door unlocked.
And the door open.
What?
And this door open.
And our studio door open because we're expecting an important UPS package. I can't say what it is yet, but it's exciting. And we didn't want to miss it. We didn't want a chance missing it. So in an unusual way, we left our door unlocked. Like most offices leave their door unlocked because they got people coming and going all
Right.
day. But here we got secrets and we got secret equipment.
Yeah.
So we lock everything
That was
up.
it was a fun time.
So we left the door unlocked today.
Surprises happen when you leave the door unlocked.
and open so that the UPS guy or FedEx guy or whatever would come
And a
in.
child just shot in.
A little child.
Just
And
shot
at first
right in.
I just assumed it was my own child.
Yeah.
But she's in school right now.
Yeah, that would, I guess, the first thing you think is, it's my child, and then you're like, wait, where is she supposed to be?
Right. Why is my child here? But then I noticed that she was a completely different
Race and age.
than my child.
And had a different hair color.
Right. In other words,
Not
almost
your child.
a whole different person than my child. Well, we work here. Our office is right next to a pediatric dentist office.
The mother ran in shortly after, grabbing
the child and bringing her out and laughing. That was great.
It's good.
I hope the child laughter, stayed there.
I thought that there was that our FedEx delivery person was just having the best day and laughing and just having fun.
It was loud. I'm very worried that that's not going to get. I think
it will get picked up, at least by my mic, right?
I hope. Well, that's what I'm hoping. So
I was they're back.
That's what I thought they were. Okay. Trip case.
back to trip case.
Trip case. And I do have an idea that's going to work really well for them. Because I did this, remember when I did this amazing talk over at Atlanta? If you were lucky enough to see this talk, this is the kind of talk I might only do once in a lifetime because it's so good. And I went there and I gave this talk, and people literally, some people were standing up and clapping. Some people were running up to the stage. There were people speaking in tongues. Several women brought me up bouquets of roses and just placed them at my feet. And needless to say, this went over well. But it was time for me to send over my receipts to Sanjay so that Sanjay could pay me over from Startup Riot and reimburse me for my travel expenses. I think they should build something in that collects that, and you can do a travel expense thing.
Oh, that's interesting.
App could spit it out, generate it, and you send it away, because that's what I had to do. I won't say that feature is missing. I'm just saying that I'm an idea guy. They're going to have to run with this. But this is something you could pass on to them, because I think it's the only thing that the app doesn't do right now.
For you.
No app does this.
Right.
No app does this.
You're giving them a gem of an idea.
I'm saying they're going to have to go with this. Let me tell you what TripCase does do, because it pretty much does everything else that you want. 30 million trips last year. And what it does is it collects your hotel, your flight, and all the other trip items into one app that runs on your phone or tablet. You get free flight notifications. You get Uber integration, so it knows where your pickup and drop-off locations are. You just tap and you get your ride. Like I said, the flight alerts. You can share your trip with coworkers. It'll remember a place. You go and find an awesome restaurant. You don't have to play that game like, oh, what was the name of that restaurant? Was it Salt and Thyme? Was it
Time to Eat?
Time to Eat. Tasty
Time.
and Alder. What was that restaurant? You just tap the app and it remembers it for you. All this stuff is integrated. They even do seat maps for your cross-country flights. I mean, takes the stress right out of it. And when you get your hotel, your flight confirmation or whatever, you just forward the email to trips@tripcase.com. And they slurp it in, turn it into a complete system that then you can notify all your friends. You can notify your family. They know if you're delayed. All that good stuff is built in. They've got Pebble and Android Wear, and they got the Apple Watch integration coming soon, and it's free. They have a special URL, tripcase.com/DBH, tripcase.com/DBH. If you care about this show at all, if you're one of the many thousands of people who find the show an integral part of their day, take a minute out of your day, go to tripcase.com/DBH, learn a little bit more.
It's free.
About
Check
TripCase.
it out.
Check it out and support the show in the process. So thanks very much to TripCase. SoundCloud is working with YouTube's partner to scan music for copyright infringement. Now, you can upload any sound that you want to SoundCloud, including stuff that's not yours, illegal music that you want to upload and share with the whole world. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. That's insane.
Well, now they have this partnership that, like YouTube, if you upload something to YouTube and it has like a song, a remix of a song or a full song, they parse it and then they notify you, like, what are you doing?
They're really good about that.
Yeah, they are.
They're very good about that. They constantly are, you'll see a video up and it'll use some song, and then 10 minutes later it's down, or we had to change the music in this.
Yep.
It's very frequent. I'll get on it.
So anyway, the SoundCloud guys have teamed up with whoever the party is that is doing this. What is interesting, though, is SoundCloud began serving ads last summer. And they may start doing something where copyright owners will get compensated in some way for when this type of thing happens. So we are very excited to find out exactly what's going on there. I never do that. But see, like I'm doing an episode of Cash's Corner on Sunday with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And this week we're going to be testing his music knowledge. I'm going to be playing music samples and things like that.
Right. How much can you play?
When you're doing something like that, you can only play it like a tiny little bit, just a few seconds.
Right. You can't play like a 30-second clip.
You cannot do that.
Like 10 seconds?
I don't even think it's 10. But that's fine. He's so good, he's going to get him in like 1 to 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That's it. Kanye West apparently is saying that to the New York Times T magazine, whatever that is. Do you know what the T magazine is? What is that?
T?
Chat room, what is the T magazine? That's what they're calling it here, T magazine.
It's not Time magazine.
No, T.
Huh.
Kanye West says he passed on a multi-million-dollar partnership with Apple. What was the partnership about? What was he going to be doing? Was it going to be instead of Beats?
T is the New York Times style magazine.
T.
T.
I'm going to start a new show. I'm just going to call it
T for style.
just R.
L.
Anyway, who knows if this is true or what the deal is with this. Now, did you hear about the opening music in Star Wars?
No.
The opening music in Star Wars is totally different in the new digital releases. This is being reported over by our friends on The Verge. Kwame Oparn. I don't remember meeting that person. But as we mentioned, the digital version of all the Star Wars films is out today. You can get it today. It's right there today. But they're noticing another change. You remember the famous 20th Century Fox fanfare that is played before every single release. It is now something different. If you and they have a little audio clip of this, which I'm going to attempt to play for you guys in a second. But it is different. They call this the fanfare. And for me, like, I can't watch a Star Wars movie if I don't hear that right 20th Century Fox thing that opens up. But apparently, John Williams composed the Star Wars theme in the same exact key as the fanfare, which was done in 1933 by some other dude. So John Williams composed it in the same key so that the theme of Star Wars is an extension of the fanfare, and they fit together perfectly.
Interesting.
But Fox still has distribution rights for the first film, so the 20th Century Fox fanfare is in the first film, but it's not in the second films or any of the other films. It sounds wrong, and people are up in arms about this. So I'm gonna attempt right now, and I'm gonna put a marker in so I can delete this of me just searching. But you guys on the video, you get to watch me do it.
That's the fun part.
That is the fun part. That's fun. So while this loads, we'll find it. But because I want to play this for you guys. And this was a last minute addition to the show.
I was
There
going
it
to
is.
say, I said I didn't even see
Yeah,
this one in the show
this
notes.
just came out. It's big news. All right. Let's see if I can play this thing. All right. All the little flash things I've got to click. Wow, now it's downloading a file to me. Terrible.
Wow.
It wants me to upgrade my flash.
It's always everything. It can't just be simple.
That's what you hear if you were to watch any of the new... What did I just do? That's really weird stuff happening. Oh my gosh. I love computers. They're just the best.
They are the best.
All right. Whatever terrible thing just happened. Wow. This is what happens. This is what happens, Larry. All right. I think
Luckily,
we're good.
we were just...
This is what happens, Larry.
That was so good yesterday.
Was it all right? I'm
Yes.
feeling very pessimistic about it.
Why?
I just am, okay? God. All right, hold on. I'm looking for... And here's the classic one that everyone knows. Now, I imagine YouTube will probably reject the fact that I'm putting it. And so now here's what you hear now on all but the first movie. And then, anyway, what is that nonsense? I hate when they do that.
Oh, it goes straight into the next. I hate that too.
No, it was the
Autoplay?
other one that was auto playing. I'm gonna play this one again. Let's look at it again. Oh my gosh. The video people are enjoying all this.
I know
I'm sure.
that they are.
That's. I mean, I'm just gonna go out and say it. That sucks.
Yeah, I
That
don't like that.
Sucks.
It just.
It sucks. Now this is the real deal. How can you have a Star Wars Open without this? You got to have that anyway. So people are rightfully upset about this. And there's a couple quick more things that before I release you all back to your day. Spirit Lords. Have you heard about Spirit
I have
Lords?
not.
I'm always looking for fun new games to play. And Spirit Lords, they're saying it's like Diablo, but it's cuter. And it's something you can play kind of quickly. And instead of being this sort of very deep, immersive, elaborate game, it's like you can just jump in and play this thing while you're, waiting. It's the casual gaming experience.
Is it for iOS or
They, and this is why I thought you would like it, Hattie.
what?
They say it has a Pokemon-like element
I love
where you
that.
collect spirits to further level up your character.
Mhm. I love
Spirit
Pokemon.
Lords, Hattie.
The original Pokemon.
Spirit Lords. And yes, it is. Look at him. Look at him. Look at the little guy.
For iOS?
Look at the little guy. Yeah, iOS and Android. But I know that that's not what you're going to be playing this weekend. Because we have just set up our own Minecraft server
Uh-huh.
here.
I'm very excited.
So there's
It'll be
there's
busy
an
weekend.
interesting little story here that I should tell before we wrap up the show. And before we do that, last thing, Mophie's new Space Pack lineup adds 128 gigs of storage to iPhones and iPads. Mophie always coming out with cool stuff. Now, more storage. It's called the Space Pack. And different people are reviewing it. Some saying good, some saying good. It's tricky to navigate, blah, blah, blah. The fact is, if you're trying to expand storage space on your iPad, on your iOS device, whatever, this is pretty much the only way to do it. So
Right.
and it's a little tricky to navigate and do because it shows up as a Wi-Fi network and then the other thing. Whatever. This is pretty impressive to me, and if you're trying to get additional space, this is like the best way and the only way to do it. So go check that out if you're interested. Again, the show notes are at 5by5.tv/dbh/26. And the last thing, lots and lots and lots and lots of people have been coming to me and saying, Dan, Linda's one of your sponsors. What do you think about them being bought by LinkedIn?
That's huge.
That's what she said. And this 1.5 billion is what we were reporting it on. There's a picture of Linda
There she is.
receiving her $1.5 billion.
She's in her glasses, got her hair going.
Now, for me, what this means is that if anything, I would think sponsorships would increase.
I would like that.
And I think LinkedIn is going to leave Linda alone. That's what I predict. I think Linda's a great company and they're doing a great job. And I think that they're going to leave them alone and everyone's going to continue to be happy. That's what I predict. Okay. Now, let's talk about Minecraft.
Yes.
Hattie has played Minecraft before. I've been playing Minecraft since it was months old, and I love Minecraft. I think it's amazing. And I set up a place because I wanted me and a few of my friends, we could collaborate and play together and build things. And I wanted to make a Minecraft server. So I did. I set up a Minecraft server on one of my Joyent Solaris machines. They call them smart machines. Great, great, great web host, great server
Yeah.
infrastructure place. And we still do a lot of hosting with them as well. Fantastic. Fantastic. I just love Joyent. And we have a Minecraft server there. It's at minecraft.5by5.tv. Well, apparently over the years, something changed. And instead of being a place that had this amazing map with like a big picture of John Syracuse's avatar.
That was
and,
awesome. And a big Hattie
It
bird.
had an actual Hattie bird.
It was a bird. And then they did something for you and Merlin. What did you do? Oh, they did
Yeah.
a big back to work and a 5x5 like floating logo
Yeah,
and stuff.
it was very
It's
cool.
really cool.
And it was mostly like 5x5 fans. Something happened. And, I don't know if it was a series of upgrades to the server, but whatever. But at some point, they, just like in The Matrix, they flushed the whole world away. And they came back and opened up and made a brand new world.
Mm-hmm.
And the brand new world had very little to do with 5x5.
Right.
And in fact, most of the people in the world don't know what 5x5 is. To them, it's simply a server address.
Mhm.
Minecraft.5by5.tv. It's essentially a vanilla Minecraft server.
The people on
And
it are very nice.
The people are super
Yep.
nice.
Very,
They're
very
super
helpful.
nice. And they basically, they've built some really amazing stuff there.
Yeah, there is.
But it's no longer the 5x5 server the way that
affiliated
it
with
once
5x5.
was. It's not.
Right.
So, right. Well, I still host it. It's still my server. It's still like my thing that I pay for. But it has nothing to do with 5x5, and no one there knows what 5x5 is. So, just like the real world. And so we decided, let's just make our own again. But this time it's hosted here and it's secret. And no one can see it and no one can know about it. And it's mine. And stay away from it and don't try to hack it. I hate everyone. So that's our new Minecraft server.
There you go.
And Hattie, you're going to be building some stuff on there, right?
I am. Yep. I want to like recreate. I want to make a house like Tony Stark's house in Iron Man.
Oh,
where
wow,
it's like
what a
on a
cool
cliff
idea.
overlooking the ocean, and
Do
it's
it.
kind of like circular. It's hard to do circular, but I'll
No,
work
you can
on
make
it.
that work.
Yep.
And you're playing, do you know if you're playing in creative mode or if you were
I
playing
believe I'm playing in creative mode. I
so
think.
you think you're playing in creative mode. Is
think.
that your final answer?
Yeah. Okay.
Survival mode.
Oh. Gotta survive.
The only change that I made to it, it's essentially a stock. I turned off mob griefing so that the Endermen don't steal the blocks.
Ruin your.
And if the creeper explodes, it doesn't destroy blocks. It just hurts people.
That's
But it won't
better that
blow
way.
up the ground and everything else. So that's what I do from usually, like 11 to 12 at night.
You're awake that late?
That's what I'm playing now.
No wonder you're
Or
so
10
tired.
to 11. I don't know. Something like that. Instead of just staring at the wall, I stare at the screen a little
That's
bit.
good.
And then mess
More
up my
screens.
circadian rhythms and everything else. So
Good.
anyway, this has been a little bit of a wrap up kind of an episode. I can't. Are you sure? Do we really have Stern on the show on Monday?
That's what Greg said.
That's huge. If we really have her. I'm very, very excited about that. If
The
that's true.
children are back.
The children are back. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, I have a new episode of the podcast. Let me pimp some stuff.
Pimp it.
Can I do that?
Do it.
A podcast method episode. I just recorded a segment with Jordan Cooper for the show today. Jordan Cooper with some really, really valuable insight into promoting your show and growing your audience, something he's very good at doing and knows his stuff. So that'll be out on this week's podcast method, which is, I believe, episode 10, coming out probably today. We also, I should be recording a couple more episodes of shows that you like. Hattie and I are going to work on doing a frequency.
Yep.
Amplified is due to come out. And, of course, the big show today, Grit, happens at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. I always flip that. I should say 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, but that's what it is. So this is a good week for you to call in if you want to do that. And we sure do appreciate all of you who are tuning in to this show and downloading this show. You can go to 5by5.tv/dbh to subscribe to the show. in audio or video or both. And I would like to ask you, please consider rating the show on iTunes. You don't have to leave a review, although that helps. You can just go there and give it however many stars you think it deserves. I hope that's 5. And I sure do appreciate everyone who's here and who's listening. And you can support the stuff that we do if you are so inclined by going to patreon.com/5x5. And it's incredibly valuable and helpful to us. We sure do appreciate that as well. That's all we've got for you. We will be back apparently Monday with Stern on the show.
Stern, yep.
I'll believe it when I believe it.
When you have her on the line.
When she's on the line. Just online. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone. Be back Monday.